You might be wondering what I'm doing in the middle of this huge crowd on an active car bridge in front of Grand Central. Well, if you read the title of this video, it's because it's Manhattanhenge. What's Manhattanhenge, you ask? It's a phenomenon that occurs twice a year in May and July when the setting sun aligns precisely with the Manhattan street grid and creates a radiant glow through the corridors of New York City skyscrapers. First coined by the astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson, if you want to learn about how he figured out this alignment, I've left a resource link of his interview from the American Museum of Natural History. This event has become so popular that there are even spin-off henges all around the world. For Manhattanhenge specifically, there are 2 days to see the sun in the months of May and July. One is a half sun and the other is a full sun. I've participated in photographing this phenomenon for years, and I gotta say, this is truly one of the most stressful events I've done. And I've shot weddings before, so that's saying something. Pending the weather, be prepared for crowds everywhere. On the corner sidewalks, in the middle of the street, all around you. They are unhinged. It can get a little spicy among spectators versus drivers when it's a clear day and the sun is setting. It doesn't help that it happens during rush hour too. This is wild. So I have never been on the Grand Central Bridge before. I saw a picture that I really wanted from last year, and I thought that they actually somehow closed. This is a car bridge, and I actually thought that they might have closed it down so that people could take pictures from here, but no, it's just people crowding up, and you can hear all the honking. There was actually an ambulance I tried to get through before. It is a hazard. I'm actually staying off on the side so that I can be able to just head out real quickly, especially if there's like any issues like a stampede or anything like that. I mean, I can't say anything because I am part of the problem and still participate every year. I got the shot years ago, but I still have FOMO, and what I'm really trying to memorialize now are the spectators trying to get their shot. It's a better storyline to photograph. Online, this event seems to draw a lot of engagement, whether positive or negative. I see a lot of comments on social media who say things like, everyone's on their phone and can't appreciate the moment in real time. Comments like that are always odd, and if I've learned anything since becoming a content creator, people love to be negative. I don't see any issue with creating physical memories to look back on. Personally, one of the reasons I even got into photography is because my memory is trash. I'm sure many others are the same, and taking a picture helps remedy that. What should be done, in my opinion, since this situation is inevitable, is the city should be proactively involved in managing a more collaborative effort to help the flow of traffic, rather than being reactive like they are every year. There's high interest in this and people will crowd the streets, but I digress. If you don't want to be among the crazy crowds though, don't worry, I got you. Keep watching as I share photographers' hack to capture the sun with the Manhattan grid and no crowd. Here comes the fun part and why you're probably here. Where can you photograph Manhattanhenge and how? Let's do a quick rundown on how to best prepare. First things first, I'm the realist. Just kidding. Never look directly into the sun. Don't forget to pack some sunglasses just in case. These are some recommended camera settings to start with. Obviously, this will depend on your lighting conditions. Camera gear that will really benefit you, depending on the type of shot you want, is using a telephoto lens. This is the one I currently use. It's for Sony's APS-C system, not the full frame. A tripod is optional since there's so much available light. If you're taking pictures from the middle of the street, it's hard to use, but not impossible. It's only really necessary when capturing the movement of the sun in a time-lapse or video. This is my typical setup. I don't normally go all out like this, but since it's a stationary shot, I like to get more content to work with. Gotta make sure all bases are covered. For something like this, I'll get a compression shot using the zoom that I might time-lapse, another time-lapse with my phone, and wide-angle shots with my full-frame camera. If you want to see what I pack in my camera bag, I've linked the video. Some of the best spots to see Manhattanhenge are on the streets with two-way traffic, like 14th, 23rd, 34th, 42nd, and Gantry State Park in Long Island City. I haven't really done 14th and 23rd because there isn't a good point of interest, like on 34th and 42nd. Since the sun sets in the west, you want to be as far east as possible. Tudor City is a photographer's mecca because of the overpass. People will get there as early as 8 a.m. to claim their spot, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. If you got this far in the video, congratulations. Here's the hack I mentioned earlier. Most people think that after the 2 days in May and July pass, you can't see the sun between the grid anymore. We're going to get a little sciencey. Unless you're a flat earther, you won't get this. But the orbit of sun and earth doesn't move that fast. Between those 2 months, you can get the exact same shot, but the sun will just be slightly higher above the horizon. Literally no one can tell a difference in pictures. So, if you want to avoid these crowds and not have to wear a diaper in order to claim a spot at the overpass, just go a few days after Manhattanhenge in May or a few days before the one in July. I'm not done. Here's another hack. There is a reverse Manhattanhenge. Just like the main event in the summer, this happens twice, but during the sunrise of November and January. If you're an early bird, this is for you. The best spot to take pictures of reverse Manhattanhenge is as far west on 34th Street or from Weehawken looking down 42nd Street. Voila! There you have it. Now you have an idea on how to see and photograph Manhattanhenge. If you found this video helpful, like and subscribe, and see you in the next one.